What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video here on my channel. Today I'm going to walk you through some of my trades. So today was all in all pretty good day. I'm sitting up on the day, I believe about 700 bucks. Yep. So all in all today here, sitting up just about $700 on the day. After commission, it's going to be about 650, 700. So as you can see right there, $700 profit on the day. Today, I traded IQ, Netflix, Wells Fargo, and the SPY. I currently have one open position on JNUG that I'm swing trading. So all in all, pretty good day. I'll walk you through majority of the trades. There were a few kind of small in and out trades that I won't really touch on because they're so small that it was basically meaningless. So we'll walk you through kind of the first trades here on the day, which was with WFC, Wells Fargo. Earnings play, it was a gap down. It was, for me, all shorting. So I'll talk you through and walk you through this position that I took. So I took two trades on Wells Fargo in the morning. My first trade was a short position. The first trade on Wells Fargo was right here. Let me actually zoom in. My first trade on Wells Fargo was a short on this level here. You see this red dotted line? This was kind of this pre-market resistance area. You can see it tapped there once and kind of fell off there. So I was trading a short position on a rejection of this red dotted line, which was kind of this pre-market resistance area. So as soon as the market opened, first candle pops right up to that level, and I got short on this first red candle in the market with 500 shares. Almost instantly, the candle drops. I'm up a little bit of money, and the next candle that opens is this green candle that pops up and breaks right over the red line. So as soon as it broke over the red line, I stopped out, exited my position, lost a little bit of money on that. At this point, I was down about $140 on the day. So I said, all right, I'm pretty sure it's going to come down. I was just a little early to the party. So I waited for this green candle, and then I got short on the 200 moving average, almost right on the top. I got short at the 200 moving average with 500 shares. We drop down to this red candle where I cover up 250 shares. All right, and then we drop down here on the low of this candle, and I cover up about another 150 shares. And then I just had 100 shares riding out throughout this whole downtrend, and I ended up covering up my last 100 shares down here right at about the bottom at 53.63. Now, I don't know exactly all the price points where I get filled, and some of them are, because I can show you real fast, and it's just a pain. If you go into the monitor section, and then you go into your account statements, it'll show you all the fills. You can see WFC, Wells Fargo, 500 shares short, 500 shares cover, minus 700. Oh, so I actually took a 700 share short at the 200 moving average. So, if you want, you can go through. I'm not going to take the time because it's a pain, but you can see all the fills on the day. IQ, Wells Fargo, IQ, Netflix, IQ, Netflix, and then the SPY. So they're all in here, but it's just a pain having to go through them, exactly all of them. So back to the charts here. So to recap, my real big winner was the 700 share short, which was done at the 200 moving average, covering up some here down at the bottom on that drop, some more here, and then the rest down at the very bottom of the low. All right, and then that netted me $208 in total after about 140 loss originally. So all in all, okay trading there on Wells Fargo today. On to the next one. Next stock I traded was IQ. So IQ, I made a mistake. I wouldn't necessarily call it a mistake. It was just kind of a silly position to take. I could have been a little bit more patient on it, but we'll walk you through this. Let me delete some of these drawings. Remove drawing, remove drawing. Okay. So on IQ, I seen IQ squeezing up out of the gates. I didn't take it long. I didn't want to take it long, so I ended up taking it short. And I took it short here at 35.40 because you can see pre-market it had resistance at 35.50, 35.50, 35.50, 35.40. It just could not break through that level pre-market. So I knew that if it were to come up to this level here during today's trading session, chances are it was going to see some resistance right at this 34.50, 34.40 area. So as soon as it started squeezing up, all right, we get towards this top here at 35.50, we started getting some sellers candles right here. So once I seen this pop up on this short squeeze, I knew that we were probably going to start turning back to the downside. So I entered short here with 2,000 shares, and then I ended up covering the full order. I covered up some on this red candle and then covered up a little bit more on that red candle for the full size. It ended up exiting with a pretty good win. I was up, what was that? I was up about 300 bucks on that trade. So it ended up turning into a scalp trade. I think I made about 300 bucks. I honestly can't tell you entirely what I made because I ended up taking a loss on it too. So I took 3 trades in total on IQ today. So I had 3 trades on IQ, and I'll talk to you about them all. So first one was a 2,000 share short here at the rejection of the pre-market resistance. And then I covered up down here, all of it. If I would have held longer, I would have made bigger payday. But in the back of my mind, I figured that once I shorted up top here and the price action popped up, rolled over, we probably were going to get a little bit of a bounce right here, and I wasn't going to risk getting squeezed up on the bounce. So I figured I'd cover up all my position. Next thing you know, it just slams. So kind of disappointing, but it is what it is. So I made a couple $100 on that position, right? And then my next trade was waiting for IQ to take a bounce. So I actually traded 4 times. So I traded short on the top here at the rejection. And then you see this little green candle here. This was a possible double bottom at low of day. You can see right there, there's a possible double bottom. So I ended up getting along here for a 2,000 share scalp on this green candle. It popped up, I was up about 200 bucks. Then it rolled over. And as soon as it started to break down the low of that green doji candle right there, I stopped out for a $100 loss. So now, you know, I was only up probably, you know, like $100 after that loss on the day because I didn't get a monster win off this first short. But anywho, so I went for a double bottom bounce scalp here with 2,000 shares on this green candle. It drops out. I ended up losing like 100, maybe 150 bucks, right? And then my next play was another long play, 2,000 share scalp on this squeeze play. So you can see it kind of drop down to this level. If I zoom out, you'll see that, excuse me, you'll see this is a pretty important level that I'd mapped off. Now, let me do the 1 minute chart and zoom out. Excuse me, get back in there. So right here. You see this is where I entered. I entered for the long on the low of that red candle there, and I'll zoom in a second, but you could see that yesterday, towards the end of the day, IQ had a strong bounce right around this price level. So today, when I seen IQ dropping so hard, I told myself that this 3370s area was a previous bounce spot from yesterday. So I figured we're probably gonna squeeze off this level at least a little bit. So I hopped in long 2,000 shares. For a scalp play. That play ended up getting me about 600 bucks. So I was up, you know, about $800 or $700 on the day with that position, right? And so I'm looking pretty good. I'm up about 700 bucks in total on IQ. And then I traded it one more time for a short play. I played the idea of an inverse head and shoulders play and a scalp play. So I tried shorting IQ right here on the armpit of the left shoulder in hopes that it was going to perform an inverted head and shoulders, which would have looked like this. Pop up, and then it was going to roll over again to retest this previous shoulder. And sure enough, it did not. And you can see that it instantly squeezed. So I ended up getting short here on this candle. Instantly squeezed up on the next candle, ended up losing about 200 bucks or something. So I was able to finish my day $489 profit on IQ. So all in all, I took 2 wins, 2 losses, and was able to stay green on there. So right there shows you there was 4 trades short, and I took a bounce play here, failed, bounce play here, worked, short play here, failed. So 4 trades, so 2 wins, 2 losses, and I'm still profitable. So even though I was only 50% accurate on IQ today, I was able to make money because my winners were bigger than my losers, which comes down to the idea of making sure to cut your losses quick, or the trades that you're losing on, make sure to get out of them ASAP. And because if you are losing on them, chances are your thesis or your game plan was incorrect and it's no longer working, okay? And then last trade here was basically Netflix. So Netflix, I didn't trade it long at all. I had, I think I did 3 trades here. My first trade on Netflix was long down here at the bottom with 200 shares. So I took 200 shares long on a bounce play. So after Netflix had fell all this way, I knew that it was due for a bounce, due for a little bit of a short cover squeeze. So I mapped off this level from, where was it? I had to do a 5-day chart, I believe. So I came in and I looked and I figured, where's this going to bounce? And I found that there was a good bounce spot right at about 394, 395, which was from a couple, let's do it like this, a 20-day chart. You could see here that it had bounced, Netflix had bounced before pre-market right about 394. So I figured straight across, that's most likely going to be the bounce spot for Netflix today. So what I did is I hopped in long with 200 shares, with Netflix. And on the way up, I exited 50 shares, exited 50 shares, exited 50 shares. My last exit fully was on this red candle right at the 9 moving average. So I scalped 200 shares long up to the 9 moving average. That netted me, actually netted me about 400 bucks. All right, and then I ended up taking another loss here because what I ended up doing was taking another trade. And the trade here was on this green candle for a long. I was just too soon to the party. So what happened was it was trending down and this green candle started to break over the trend line. So what I did is I longed it, and as soon as I realized that it was going to start breaking back down, I exited for about a $100 loss. And then my next trade was I flipped bias. And actually went from long to short on that candle. And we dropped down. I was up about 100 bucks and instantly squeezed up, lost about another 140 bucks. And that's what brought me down to a $155 trading day. So all in all, it was an okay trading day. It was a little back and forth for me, not very consistent. Could have had a much better day. But to end my day, $700 profit on a Friday, I'm completely happy with that. So all in all, consistency could have been a little better today. So obviously always room for improvement. So hope you guys liked the video. Again, finishing the day up 700 bucks. Hope those trades and that little analysis on the trades can kind of help you guys get an understanding of the way that I trade and, kind of the moves that I'm making. So hope you guys liked the video. Leave all your questions and comments below, and I'll see you in the next one.